Hello, Umut here. Welcome to another video. Today I have my art journal in front of me and I'm going to use one of the scrapbook papers that I bought a while ago and did a big haul. I'm going to put the link down below at the description area so that you can find the paper that I'm using there. Before I start, I used some washi tape from washi tape shop to protect my spine, because I'm going to use sprays, and I have these cute little fairies with their houses, mushroom houses or teacup houses. They look very adorable, and I'm going to use one of them as the focal point for my page. And I'll go for the left one with the fairy with the teacup house. I'm using my Prima sprays. These are color bloom sprays that have a little bit shimmer to them, and I really love them. They are one of my favorite sprays. They didn't clog on me ever, since I have them for years. And I'm using a couple of shades of green and gray, you will see. First I use this first color. It's kind of a lime green, brimstone wings, and I'm just dabbing off the excess with my dry tissue. And this is a gray color, storm skies, something like that. Sorry, storm cloud. I'm kind of trying to create a nature scenery with the background like grass and sky. So I'm just using my brush to spread the spray as well with a little bit of water. I want a light background, and I'm going to work on it later, and you will see I will have a lot more interest anyway. I'm using a darker green here for the ground. It's called golden oregano. And I'm using some water again, just being careful that it doesn't go to the other pages, and I'm dabbing off the excess. I have this Stamperia big bricks stencil in my stash from the past, just showing you the barcode if you want to pause and find it somewhere, but there are a lot of brick stencils that you can find from many brands. I'm using a brown distress oxide here to go over this stencil and create a brick wall. I used my vintage photo, and this brick is this stencil is full of color, so I'm not going to waste it. I turned another page and put my stencil on it, and using my baby wipe to go over the stencil, and you see I have a beautiful print already to start another page. And you will see that I actually finished this page at a later date, and I'm going to publish the video sometime. I have some videos recorded, and because it's summer and we are out and about, it's a little bit difficult to keep up with the channel. We can say I'm taking a little break, being lazy with editing the videos. And I'm also working. It's taking a lot of time, so I'm slower than usual. I'm using my colored pencils to go over the bricks a little bit and create some shadowing on them with darker brown colors. This way they will look a lot more realistic, and they will have some depth. You see, it looks much better. And I'm using a script stamp, sorry, from Penny Black with some green ink over the grass that I created, so that there is some texture there as well. I'm mixing 3 green colors from Arteza mixed media paints, some olive green, forest green and lime green, let's say. And I'm going to create some bushes at the back of this girl and her house. I mixed 3 colors because realistically in a bush you see different shades of green, so I didn't want to have one color but mix a few colors so that it looks more closer to the real look. I'm going to do it for the other side of the house, fairy house as well. So it's like there are bushes in front of the wall, and floor, the ground is covered with grass. It's a natural scenery that I love. I'm using a sponge to just dab on the page after I dab it in the paint. It's a really easy technique. You can create clouds with this technique as well. Just dab it a little bit in your paint, blues and whites, and dab it on the sky on your paper, and you will have clouds very easily. And after this I'm going to dry my page, of course. I'm cutting a part of the handle of the teacup because it's at the spine, and it won't close easily, so I'm going to glue them separately. I'm going over the image as well with matte medium so that I can do my shading afterwards. And on the other page I'm going to stick down the handle. These little pieces are from this Mintai paper block. It has a lot of flowers like these, different kinds, and they have different flower booklets, and you will see them in my paper haul again very clearly. I really like them, very useful, and I cut them in advance, put it in a little plastic bag, and keep it ready so that I'm not lazy to cut it afterwards. It's really useful. I'm using these little cotton flowers, cotton plants all around the page. I think it goes with the background of brown bricks. So it completes the page, and also it goes with the white teacup and the brown house. Again, I'm making sure I cover it with matte medium too. If I want to do shadowing, it will be easy because I'm making the surface non-porous, so I can use my markers on top. As you see, I created a bunch of those on the right corner because the left is heavy with the fairy and the fairy house. But I don't forget to put a couple of them on top of the house as well, on the bushes. And this creates a nice composition, very balanced with colors and elements. So after sticking down lots of cottons on my page, I'm going to also look for brightening it up a little bit with some colors. So I took my butterflies from my stash. I have loads of butterfly papers or stickers in my stash. I'm sure you do too. So if not, you can use stamps and color them or draw them. You don't have to have ready-made butterflies. I'm going to take like orange and yellow tones, so I brighten up the page with some colors. I'll just glue these three down on the right side, and I'm going to glue another one on the left side. Again, I'm just trying to make a balance, and odd numbers are always better for the eye, by the way, in art, rather than even numbers. It creates more interest, so it's 3 to 1. And I'm using my Faber-Castell pit brush marker in walnut brown to do some shading all around the images so they don't look cut out and glued down. There is some shadow and dimension behind them. That's why it was important to use the matte medium to go over the images too. Now that we have matte medium on them, they are non-porous, and I can move this ink from the marker easily with my hand and go over the images to give some shadowing to them also. As you see, it looks like it has much more depth. And I have these metal signs from Tim Holtz Ideology collection. The Heritage Road, those I think are from Prima, but these numbers are from Tim Holtz. I had them for years and years and I never used them. So I decided this is like a home, so I'll give an address and a number. I'm going to just glue down the road sign, and actually I'm going to poke a hole where the number is, and I'm going to use some metal brads that will look so much better. I like adding these kind of details, and for that it's important that you leave the page before and after empty so that you can decide to add details like this on a whim. I didn't plan for this, so it was good that the page before was empty for me to add those brads easily. After this, I'm going to look at adding some sentiment. These papers I printed from Elena Zinski shop, Etsy shop. She has these loads of sentiments ready. You can print them again and again, and I use them quite often. So I'm going to use one of those today, and I'm going to put the link down below at the description box for you to see. In the meanwhile, I'm using my Arteza white gel pen to give some highlights to all my elements. And as you saw from Elena's sentiments, this was there as well. It's a wooden sign. I cut it, and I'm just spraying some brown color with my distress spray. It's the easiest way to color it, and I'm going to give some wood texture on it. This is a stamp that I have with wood texture. Even if you don't, you can draw it with your hand, but I'm just stamping it with black archival ink on top of this wooden sign, and I'm just gluing it down on the page in this empty space. You will see that the sentiment from Elena actually will fit into this page perfectly. Welcome to the madhouse. It became a house sign, and I'm just going over this sentiment with antique linen as well, not to make it pure white, to give a little bit of color. And I'm gluing it down on the house sign, and I think it's just perfect. And I am missing some pop of color here, so I am reaching out for my ephemeras again that I cut from Mintai Papers, another collection. And I'm taking out these ladybugs, a couple of ladybugs, to glue here and there to give just a touch of color, vibrant color, and you will see that it makes a difference. And I just watered down some white gesso, and I am doing some white splashes here and there to give some energy. And while I'm on the details, I will also use a little bit of stickles in transparent color to give interest to the wings of my fairy and to the little lamp on the house. I know it's a little bit too much obsessive detail, but I just wanted to do it. It really makes a difference when you see the page in person, and I love looking at those details when I take my art journal and flip through the pages. And I think with this I'm done. I love this page. It's so whimsical, and I love the details, the colors, how everything came together in this cute page. I hope you enjoyed it too. If you did, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe or comment on my videos. That definitely helps. There will be pictures at the end of the video. If you are curious about other art journal pages, I have playlists, art journals or napkin journals, so you can go to the playlist and watch a few more. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.